Your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartments, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Welcome into Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Bill Mitchner.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome tonight. Another edition of Be a Beacon. Excited for the guests that are here tonight.
Super excited. Some important fellows in here, you know. Some movers and shakers. I like to say, that's my favorite word to say. It's not, but I said it for the first time just now,
It's your new favorite.
You're my new favorite, yeah. I guess I can introduce them real quick here while we figure these things out. We have Senator George Dungan here. He represents Northeast Lincoln. He's a former public defender. He's a mentor. He's someone who's been a loud voice at the Capitol for working families. He works with youth in communities that don't always get heard, and we're happy to have him here. And we also, to my right, we have my uncle, Jay Pitts, someone we know really well at Lighthouse. He's a current board member. He's built a name for himself around the town. He's big in mentorship, big in reentry work. He's bridging the gap between law enforcement and community. We really appreciate that. And he's someone who really wants to lead with trust. And he's someone that starts with listening, which is something that I always respect.
Thank you, family. I appreciate that.
Of course. And two people that I consider friends. And fam, back to you too.
That too.
We're all family.
Brother from another mother.
That's right.
How many more times do I have to come on here till I'm family?
Well,
we have a punch card.
I think
okay, great.
Not only here, but other situations.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, you're making a good step for August 22nd.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited about it.
Yeah.
I know it definitely felt like family. We went to your your event, your announcement event. That definitely felt like a nice little family event. It was really tight, packed space. Everybody was close together. Everybody was hugging up on each other. And
it was a little tight in there, but I mean, I'll tell you, I would rather have the problem of a small space with too many people than the other problem. So
a lot of support in the building, that's for sure. Tons of support.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Well, it meant a lot to have y'all there. I mean, the campaign kickoff is always a fun experience, and it's sort of step one of a 1.5 year long process of knocking doors and talking to people. But it's nice to kick the whole thing off with a party, and you get to see your friends and meet people in the community.
Well, and it was funny because somebody that came late wanted me to sum up your speech. And so I thought I did it in the moment really well because he was really intrigued and very upset that he didn't make you talking to the crowd. And when I talked to him about you wanting to move the needle and wanting to bring people together and really represent the people and try to really bring that home, man, he was all hyped up. I mean, he was ready to run through a wall.
That's great. Well, I might have to get you to say more of those things then. Apparently you can articulate it really well to get people jazzed. But I mean, that was the whole message, right? Was trying to just make sure people understand why it's important. And like, you said when you introduced me, which I appreciate, trying to help working families and everyday people. And when you go out and meet your folks in the neighborhood, it doesn't matter what political party they are, what they do. It's all about just trying to make life easier for people every day. So no, it was a good event, and I really appreciated your support.
Well, and I'm going to make a little joke here, so please don't take any offense, but I haven't met many attorneys that really, really, really are about helping other people. And that's just a personal experience. It's no bag on attorneys, but the attorneys that I've met, there's usually obviously things that they want to make a living, all kinds of stuff, but your morals seem to match with wanting to truly help people. And I resonate with that because of what we do at Lighthouse, and obviously wanting to help our young people that are mostly underserved, don't have the resources, cannot get out of their own way sometimes. And it's just, I see that in you. And I think, one, that's what gravitates me towards you and wanting to be your friend. And I'm just proud to call you a friend.
And that kind of leads me into one of my questions I had for you, because I'm pretty good friends with Johansi Christie, and he's an attorney, and you and him have something in common as well. I mean, Bill knows him as well too. But you guys both start off as public defenders.
Yes.
And do you think that kind of helps shape your mindset into helping? Because you start off with the helping the people who can't even afford the lawyers versus people who are just jumping straight into law school, going into a firm and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, 100%. I mean, when I started at the public defender's office, what initially attracted me to working there was they had an opening in the juvenile unit. And that's sort of the connection I feel here with the Lighthouse was there was an opening to go work and represent youth who were dealing with certain issues. And, when you get into that job, you don't know what to expect right away. But, to your point, you start to get to know these kids. You understand their family situations. You see where they come from, and you understand one of the through lines that I always believe, which is that, everybody's a sum of their parts, and we all come from somewhere. And so getting to work with youth like that, it really, became more of a mission, honestly, than a job. And there's always this, joke about public defenders. You hear sometimes that they're overworked and underpaid, and they're just doing it as a stepping stone, but I got into that position, and I can tell you, for me, like I said, it became a real mission, and that's how a lot of other folks in the office were. And you talk about Johansi Christie, I mean, same for him. I mean, he's committed to giving back to the community, and now he's our city attorney, and I've seen a lot of the great changes he's done there. But it really, that's part of why I ran for office, was trying to take the things I learned, getting to know folks in the community, working with youth, and finding ways to translate that to a larger state scale and see what differences we can make.
Yeah, but it's easy though to talk about it through your lenses because you connect on the other side of it. But one of two things happens in that position as a public defender. You're either passionate about wanting to help the young people or calloused. And just, it's annoying. It's just another kid coming in here doing the exact same stuff and making the exact same mistakes and not really giving them the chance and believing them through their behaviors rather than through the person that they could be in the future. So I just got to give you props because I don't think it's as simple as I went in there and I think we all want to help, because it doesn't work that way. It's like law enforcement. You may come into it, it's like teachers, you may come into it like, I want to help people. I really, truly want to do community policing. And after a few experiences, it kind of calluses you. And then you're like, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
I am not making the impact I thought I was going to make. And then you just kind of change. So to be able to stay down that path and truly stay connected to the mission of truly wanting to help people, I got to give you, honestly, a little golf clap for that. So
I always thought it was it'd be hard to do what you do for that, Jay, because you do see people at their lowest a lot of times, and like, how do you not get hardened by that,
I think that every police officer or law enforcement officer is going to go through that, because it's repetitive. It's the same people over and over and over. You go into the business, wanting to help people. That's what you want to do. You want to help and serve your community and do all that stuff. And you get hardened to it a little bit. You get a little jaded about, the calls you're taking and things like that, but I think that's just where you're at when you're just starting out, because this is what you're going to see. But I think as you evolve and you truly become a good law enforcement officer, you start to ask the question, why to these people? Why are you at this point? And that's where that's really where you have to start with them and really get to know them, build some rapport with them, and really try to work through whatever issue they have that way. You can't go into it just thinking, okay, this is the same old call, got to do the same thing again. You just never know, if you can get someone to start telling you why, they're going to open up. And then, you know what? The contact is going to be a lot better. Their interaction with us is going to be more positive. So
but again, I got to go to you too, because you come with a different mindset and you're just put together differently. And I think it is easy for us that connect with people in a different way to say how easy this is. A lot of people don't connect that way, and they live through those experiences and are stuck in those experiences. So I guess my challenge for people that might be in that situation is take that step back and go volunteer somewhere, go see through different lenses, because your experience do shape you unless you're willing to take that step back and do something different, because you might get a different perspective.
And that's one thing we do. Tie back to last, we do that really well at Lighthouse. We individualize each kid, where just because these kids are in trouble for the same thing, or these kids have the same background or the same brother and sister, doesn't mean they need the same things. And for what I do in ASP, there's like 6 things you can get suspended for. There's 6 things, and the kids are going to get suspended for the 6, but each thing is still different. You can't look at this kid if getting suspended for vaping the same as this kid, because they have different reasons.
Right.
It's individualizing things, I think, is so important. And again, in society, you have these black and white laws for everything, but everything kind of is individualized.
It's truly meeting people where they're at.
Yeah. 100%.
And I'll be honest too, as an attorney, a lot of what I think, and as an attorney and as a state legislator, people ask, what is your job, big picture? And I think a big part of what we do as a state senator is storytelling, right? It's trying to find out where people come from. It's meeting them where they're at, like you said, and it's taking that and being able to turn around and explain that to people who may not have the shared experience and say, hey, you may see this on the outside, or you may see this issue, but let me explain a little bit about where they come from and what their situation is. And I think, Jay, while we're giving out kudos, I'll agree, as a law enforcement officer, you do that so well. I see you articulate, the experiences of the people you interact with, of, whether it's your colleagues or the folks that you see out when you're on duty, and being able to take that and then turn it around and explain what kind of changes have to be made. It's really powerful. So storytelling, I think, is such an important role of what we all do.
100%. Even for what we're doing, we're trying to figure out, data and like numbers and quantitative things, but the things that actually stick with the people are not, hey, 25% of kids doing this. It's no, I have a story about this kid doing this.
You do have some people that
some people need the numbers, but the numbers are never as powerful as the story like you're telling it. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do is help people tell their stories better. Yeah. We're trying to tell our story better at Lighthouse, trying to help our young people tell their story better so people can see them through different lenses. Mm-hmm. I always say, again, I'm not trying to use negative things, but I try to teach our young people at Lighthouse to play poker. They're playing 5-card stud and they're dealt a terrible hand, but they have never learned how to go to be a 5-card draw type things. So they're giving up some cards to improve their hand. That's what we're teaching them to do.
It's really,
we're giving them some experiences. We're giving them, we're giving them some experiences and understanding that it's a bigger world than what you're seeing through your box. And that's what we're really trying to do.
Well, and I could talk about this forever, but when you talk about like juvenile brain development, and, I know we all know that folks, when they're younger, their brains develop at different rates for different parts. But it's that long-term ability to understand consequences that comes last. Yeah. Like you can have youth that they totally understand right from wrong. They're not dumb, but it's that appreciation of, hey, if we do this in the short term to get you a better hand, we can actually try to improve things. And it's having folks at Lighthouse who can teach the long-term strategizing. Because it's really hard sometimes when you have those blinders on to say, I'm going to make these choices for the future.
I think I just took those off last year, to be honest. I
was going to make fun of that. Brain development. He's talking about brain development. Well, us guys, it takes longer for brain development. Right. I mean, statistically, it's real. Yeah, I joke around about that, but the reality of it is it does take us longer for that brain development and to close what we call the Swiss cheese holes of the brain.
I swear it clicked on in January this year for me, and I'm here now, so we're good.
I always say it's about 30 for men.
Yeah.
And then once you hit 30, it's almost like that light does get clicked on in a dark room and you're like, whoa.
Right.
And it's life-changing. Yeah. Right.
I'm 36 now, and I definitely feel it.
Yeah.
I see that.
You're so young. Remember, I'm the elder in this room.
Right.
I'm just a baby.
4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
Now, you've been with Lighthouse for a while now, right?
I've been a board member for about 10 years.
10 years,
my 10th year.
A decade. Yeah. That's a whole decade.
Oh yeah.
What's something that you've kind of learned about youth with that experience?
We were just talking about storytelling. Yeah. I like the nights when we as board members come and serve the kids and we get to sit down and talk to them. And, a lot of these kids, they will open up and tell you about their past. And it's incredible where they've come from to where they are now, going through the Lighthouse's program is amazing to me. And, the job that the Lighthouse staff does, the care, the love, that is just, it's awesome to see. And I am really touched, when I come to those events. I don't want to miss those ever, because those are what make me feel, connected to these
your
kids.
Bucket for
right,
sure.
Exactly. And you see, and every once in a while I'll see one of these kids out and about, and they know who I am.
Yeah.
They know who I am as a board member. And that's kind of who I want them to know me as a law enforcement officer too. Yeah. I'm the same guy.
Yep.
It's just, it's a uniform, it's a job, but you know what? I want to project that same kind of thing. I'm approachable.
Yeah.
I think I am. I think a lot of people like come talk to me.
And sometimes it feels corny to say it, but it's like being a safe person and being a person that the kids aren't like, they're instinctually happy to see you. There's not a better feeling than
entirely. Well, and we're unique again at Lighthouse. And I believe we're close as staff. We love our kids. But the same thing goes with the board. Like the board, we love each other and we care about each other. And sometimes Pete has to, clank things to get people to settle down. But that passion goes towards the kids at these events too. And that time being spent and the connection. I mean, Jason Peters was on here talking about how he got that text message from a parent. And, it's moving because it's such a family environment that is wide. It's not just this narrow thing like a one-on-one. It's wide. I have all of these uncles and brothers and whatever figure they want to see in their mind.
It was kind of an example of it was today. I was sitting there talking with a few staff members and a few kids, and then another kid just got there and he came up to us and wanted to join the conversation, but he didn't want to interrupt. But he was like, okay, I can go talk to the other staff real quick and then come back to you. And like, he didn't have a problem with that at all. It's just, there's not many places where you can move to your next favorite person instead of just waiting for the one.
Wait. Are you saying you're their favorite person?
I'm everybody's favorite person. Well, that's true. Right?
You're even your own favorite person.
That's JoJo, but
That's the healthy level of confidence the Lighthouse teaches.
That's
There
right.
you go.
That's right. That's exactly
confidence,
right.
not arrogance. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Harrison, is he your favorite person too?
I'll plead the fifth.
As an attorney, that's a smart answer.
All right. Well, I'll just leave then. Harrison. I have to be number one. So I guess one of the big things I kind of wanted to change about the mindset about Lighthouse, though, kind of with today's episode, was all of our youth aren't always just in trouble. They're not always on behavior problems. They're not always, it's not the poor kids that go to Lighthouse. Everybody needs a Lighthouse. Right. So is there something that you guys can kind of relate to that back in your youth, that you guys went to a program kind of like that, or had a situation or a mentor like that, where it shows it's not just people who don't have the path or whatever. We're helping everybody.
Ooh, trying to think when I was a kid. My upbringing was probably more traditional, I would say. I mean, mom and dad both involved in my life. Sisters, my mom stayed home and taught us. She studied with us. She wanted us to learn and things like that. We went through public school system.
What, and you got to understand, when we were growing up, the dinosaurs were walking the earth.
It was back in the 70s. It was 1978. Yes.
So first of all, the after school programs weren't a thing.
Yeah.
They called latchkey kids and all that stuff back then because there weren't places for people to go to.
But I'm sure you would have benefited from one.
You know what? Anybody can benefit from any of these programs. So, but I think that because we had a pretty stable family life, and all I can say is, the 4 kids that my parents had, we all are doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing okay.
Well, and what did your dad do for a living?
Well, my dad was a police officer. Yeah, he was Lincoln police officer for almost 40 years.
I was going to say a well-known police officer.
Very well known, very highly respected. I tell people I'm kind of like 2.0 Pitts. So, Pitts 2.0. So, but any kid can benefit, like you said, Drew, any kid can benefit from coming to Lighthouse. Yeah. It's not just, one certain group of people. I mean, there's things for anybody and everybody there that they're gonna embrace, and there's a lot of good things there.
We've had the aha moments of parents of attorneys and wealthy people that have come up that have used the ASP program and then saw the benefit of the after school program as well. It's like, wow,
we were just
had no idea, right?
Yeah. We were at Scott, and that's a school that doesn't really use the ASP or Lighthouse that much. But when we went there to talk to them about Lighthouse and about the programs, they're like, that is something that all of our kids need. Why did our mind think that this wasn't for us?
Right.
And it's just a little thing like that. Like, you just have to turn the switch on.
Yeah.
I grew up, so I'm an LPS product as well. I went to schools all through Cavett, Scott, Southwest, but I did after school programming. I mean, after school rec was what I did. And, my mom and dad worked, obviously. And so they couldn't always pick me up until like 5 or 6. And I loved it. I thought it was an incredible program. Bunch of my friends were there. I had my school friends, then I had my after school rec friends, and it was kind of a different crew. And I mean, I think it was crucial to, my upbringing. So having that ability for everyone to kind of come together. And what I love about a lot of the programming I did was it was across the entire spectrum. I mean, you had kids, who grew up in South Lincoln, whose parents, they lived in the Ridge, right by Scott. And then you had other kids who were from North Lincoln or Northeast Lincoln, and they all were hanging out together and were playing the same games and doing. And that, I think, is so crucial for that combination. And that's, I think, what you're talking about. It's for everybody. It's not just for people who are in trouble. And I completely agree. I think it's really important.
And I know I'm biased, but I really think what we do is special at Lighthouse, because of the relationship builders I have there, because they truly breathe and live the mission and really want to help our young people in a different way. It's a passion that you can't match. And it's no disrespect to any other program. It's just different. It just feels different. And I think a lot of that is because it's based more upon family values than it is anything else.
Family, love, that's it.
Because the kids come here and they say, this is a family.
It's a family.
I do feel loved. I mean, those are all things they say. So I know we're giving that to them.
Yeah. That kind of brings me, Jay, I did a little research on you. One time you said in an article, you said trust isn't automatic, it's earned. You remember saying that?
Oh, yeah, I do remember saying that.
Now, what does that look like in what you do then? Because, where we're at right now in society, it's not the most trusting towards police, and especially as a black man, that's bridging the gap.
It's a double whammy. Yeah. You know what? It is truly about just trying to find some kind of common ground with whoever you're dealing with. Trying to build some kind of rapport, and you're just trying to let them know that I am here truly to help you.
Yeah.
You got to help yourself and talk to me so that we can get through this. If you're patient with people, you're going to get a better result. I mean, and that's again, I've been doing this for I've been commissioned for 30 years, but I've been practicing for 25 years. When I came in as a new guy at LPD, running the beat, going call to call. You were just like hot calls. I want to, arrest me.
Police chases.
Seriously, you wanted all that. But as you get more involved or, more tenured.
Seasoned.
Yeah, exactly. Seasoned. Yeah, that's a good word. You really truly want to figure out, why and where these people are coming from. Yeah. And truly get to the bottom of what's going on, but that does take a lot of, it takes time. Yeah. And that's that over time you can build that trust with certain people because you do have your, regular clients from time to time. You'll see these people 3 or 4 times a month.
Yeah. Frequent flyer card.
Exactly. But, once they see you and then, they understand where you're coming from and they can see you for who you truly are. Other than just having this badge and
a person.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm a human being just like you.
Yeah.
Let's be human to each other and let's figure this out. Yeah. That's really what we want to do.
This is really great stuff. And I appreciate this conversation. We're going to get back to this conversation, but I got to throw it to Harrison for our sponsors.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing a family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Bros Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Now back to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. We are back. So, George, as I said, we're going to start with you since I cut you off so abruptly. Do you remember?
I do, yeah. Well, no, I just wanted to jump off, I guess, a little bit of what Jay was saying in response to that question about showing other people that you're a person. I mean, one thing that we talk a lot about in the legislature, and I think everybody agrees, is the importance of community safety.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to live in a safe community. Everyone wants to live in a safe neighborhood.
Well, for sure.
And the question is, like, how do you achieve that, right? And what Jay's talking about with that trust and that sort of development of an actual relationship, I think that's what accomplishes a truly safe community. When you have people who know each other, when you have law enforcement who are working with a lot of the individuals, and, you know, like you said, they sometimes see the same folks over and over. And it's that building of a relationship, which, to your point, when they see you with the badge and everything, they don't think to themselves, oh, I got to turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah.
They can think, oh, that's Jay.
Yeah.
I want to go have that conversation. And so if we really do want safer neighborhoods, I think, you know, that's the approach to take. And so it's really, I think, encouraging to hear folks in law enforcement. I know many who all feel the same way, who want to approach it in that manner, because I think that's how you really build that up. So I appreciate that perspective.
It's more of a community-based type policing again, is what we really need to do.
Yeah.
We need to get out in the community and talk to everybody and let them get to know us as just a person. So,
And this restorative commercial is brought to you by George Duggan and Jay Pitts.
I mean, we even talked about it last week.
And we
too,
approve
with
this message.
With the Topeka guys, you know, the community policing, Officer Tommy Norman down in Arkansas. It's getting around and talking to the kids, and the kids see the car pulling up and be like, oh, that's Officer Jay. Like, they don't need to be like, wait, who's that? Oh, no. They know who it is.
You're
They run the
normalizing,
door.
you're humanizing
Exactly.
the badge
Yeah.
instead
That's
of
it.
like, oh my gosh, they only come around when I do something
Yes.
wrong.
Right.
Yes. And like what we do at Lighthouse, and for me, for the ASP, I know for me, I'm around the kids in their worst time. Like, they're suspended. They're coming here and they automatically think that I'm going to be some mean guy. They think they're walking up the stairs. They're trailing their parent like 20 steps behind because they're like dragging their feet. They don't want to go. But 5 minutes into the door, they're like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Right.
These people seem to care about us. I'm not
Right.
doing push-ups. I'm not, yes, sir, no, sirs. I'm not, it's just like, no, we're chill. Like, you don't, just
Not
because
sitting
you're in
in a
trouble,
corner.
you don't need to be negative, and it's kind of like what you do, it's good to feel like the good person in the bad situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you're going to be if you want to be known by something, if you had a tagline for how people are going to know you, what's your tagline?
You saying just one word?
No, tagline. You can give me a few words, whatever. You can give me a mission statement if you got that in your head.
I know mine for sure.
Go ahead.
Is be who you needed. My dad said that to me every day for 30 years, basically. Just if somebody needs something, you need to be that thing for them. If you needed this and you can tell that they're in a similar situation as you are, you need to be what you would have needed in that situation. And I live by that. I'd get it tatted if I could.
Yeah,
I can, but you know.
Yeah, you could, right?
I could.
Yeah.
You know, freedom. You know.
I mean, I guess for me too, the one that comes to mind that I've talked a lot about in my time in the legislature is keep your North Star.
Yeah.
Right. You're always trying to do. You're doing what you're doing for a reason, right? Everybody got involved in whatever you got involved in Lighthouse for a reason. You know, you're doing hold on to that, because it's really easy in society and it's really easy in politics for me in particular to get pulled in 17 different directions.
Yeah.
But if you keep your North Star about what matters to you and why you're doing it, I think that keeps you authentic. And one thing that I think we're lacking in all different levels of the political world right now is authenticity.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, I can have a conversation with somebody, either a colleague of mine in the legislature or a neighbor who disagrees with me. And that's fine, as long as we're both being authentic and willing to engage in the conversation.
Right.
And I tell people all the time when they're new to the legislature, because I've been there now 3 years, so I'm weirdly enough not the newest anymore. But when
You're
they come,
seasoned.
I'm seasoned, yeah. But when there's new
word.
senators or staff, you know, and they come in, and I say, I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, a nonpartisan, whatever. All I ask is that you be thoughtful.
Yeah.
All I ask is that you approach legislation in a manner where you're thinking about what matters. You're thinking about how to help your constituents. And that can lead to a genuine disagreement. Like, we can have a fight where we disagree about policy, but be thoughtful and keep your North Star.
100%. Your why. That's what a lot of teachers always do. What's your why? What's your why? That's the kind of the same as being your North Star. I love that.
You know, I think that mine would be, you know, Jay. I think everybody knows that I'm the protector of the community. That's just kind of what I do.
I believe it.
I'm passionate about that. I want people to, you know, like I said, I think I'm pretty approachable. I think a lot of people who know me know my character, and they just like talking to me because like I said, I'm not gonna, you know, speak down anybody. You know, tell me what's going on and let's have a real conversation and let's figure it out. That's just kind of me.
You're definitely real.
Yeah,
but I got to figure out that kind word in there too, because really, I don't know many people more kind. You have a kind soul, and it's not that you don't protect and don't, but you have a kind soul. You come in with love, and I that's why I appreciate you.
Well, you know, and I think that's just, you know, that was just our family, man.
Yeah.
You know, that comes from mom and dad, and that's how they ran things. And then my dad, you know, I said, being in law enforcement for, you know, almost 40 years too, highly respected. But I think that people would probably say a lot of the same things about him, you know, that they say about me. Because you know, and everybody, we don't look the same. They say, you guys talk the same. You have the same mannerisms. I'm like, well, I grew up with a guy. So there's probably some things that are really common between us. Exactly. But no. And to me, that's the ultimate compliment, because my dad is a solid man. So, and he was a very well-respected person in this community. So,
well, and too, Jay, the thing that you and I have talked about your dad, I think, and your background, and one thing that I really respect that I think you've carried on from that is this really like heavy through line of integrity, right? It's this idea that we do the right thing, that we apply the law evenly to everybody.
Right.
And that, to me, connects all of those different things that we've talked about with law enforcement and community safety. If you could just sum it up, it's like, it's integrity, right? Let's do the right thing, and let's make sure that we're upstanding citizens. Because if kids at the Lighthouse see, you know, Officer Jay or whomever, and they look up to him because they know that's a person of integrity, they can say, that's somebody I can talk to. That's somebody I can trust.
But
so I appreciate
again,
that.
it goes back to the restorative. I joked around about that commercial, but honestly, you are a restorative man. You give people an opportunity. Giving people an opportunity connects you in a different way. And people just want to feel like they're a part of something, like they're heard and seen. And you give them that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Harrison, you're not off the hook. What's your tagline?
Oh, man.
You can't just be over there listening. You got to participate.
I was listening. The why part's tough. I think, if I had to come up with a mantra, it's Kid Cudi quote. Don't roll your eyes just yet.
I'm never going to Kid Cudi quote.
So right now, what I roll, one always sticks out. People I've met, places I've been, all who make me the man I so proudly am. Yeah. I like to think about that a long time. DP says it. You can never have too many mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about those people, when you're in those tough situations, think about all the people that help you get where you're at today. You don't want to disappoint them.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for the North Star, the real why. Still looking for that. There's a few ideas, but the sky's full of stars. So I'm trying to identify which one's that North Star.
You got time. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Just keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the plan. Keep an eye out for it.
Kind of in that same vein of like growing up and your dad, being who we need and stuff. What would teenage you kind of think of where you're at right now? Would they believe it?
I think so. I really wasn't one of those.
Yeah, no, you're talking to like a straight-laced man.
I didn't really do a lot, I don't. And honesty is another thing. Honestly, through high school, I was a pretty decent. I was a good kid, And I'll tell you this: the time I really found out that I was a good kid was when I sold automobiles for Honda, and I had teachers from like my grade school buying cars from me because they saw me in the newspaper. I couldn't believe that. They're like, here's Miss Pearson, my second grade teacher, or Rod Dietrich, my sixth grade teacher, buying cars from me because they knew who I was. And I think that that's kind of when it really, I said, I must not have been that bad of a kid. I must have been okay.
They dropped some money on you.
It turned out paid, and they're referring people, and they were like, "Yo, go see Jay. He's honest." And that career too taught me a lot about people in general too. Right. It's in that business, you're kind of a chameleon. You have to kind of change your style to what person's in front of you.
Right.
Some people are really tech driven. Some people are just hey, get me something that gets good gas mileage or whatever, so you really had to, adjust your sales style to the person that was in front of you. So, yeah.
But all jokes aside, we tell that to the kids all the time. You never know who you're going to need. You never know when this relationship's going to matter. You need to be nice to everybody. Like, even if you don't want to, you still need to be nice to everybody. You never know.
You never know.
What about you, George? You 16-year-old going, I'm about to be senator of
No, that was not.
Lincoln.
I did not think that was in the cards. So I've always cared about politics, right? But from sort of the idea of making sure that people who sometimes get left behind don't get left behind. Like that's been very important to me for a long time. Yeah, justice and making sure we stand up for people. I don't think I planned on being an attorney. But if you ask some of my old teachers, which I have, and my parents, they say that they totally understand it. I would push back from time to time on rules that I didn't understand, that I thought were maybe not. There's a good example. I remember one time, it was like third grade or something. And I think I got sent to the principal's office because I was insisting on laying down during story time. And the teacher was like, "You're not allowed to lay down during story time." And I was like, "Why not?" And she was like, "Well, you might fall asleep." And I was like, "But I'm not sleeping. I can lay down and listen at the same time." And then other kids started being like, "Yeah, I can lay down too." And they all start laying down as well. And so there was this sort of, little light uprising that happened during campaign. I think I also got in trouble one time because we were on the school bus and they make you the railroad tracks. Everybody has to be quiet.
Yeah, I remember that rule.
For whatever reason, I was really into the Temptations at the time. And I kept singing My Girl by the Temptations. And I got the whole school bus to sing My Girl. And they wouldn't stop singing at the railroad stop. So I got in trouble for that. So I definitely...
Troublemaker.
Natural born leader. It's a leader.
But, it was good trouble, right? That's a little bit of good trouble. And so, I don't think I anticipated running for office, but I definitely knew that I wanted to be involved in something that gave back.
Yeah.
And when I graduated law school, I didn't know what that was going to be. Because when I was in law school, I did a lot of stuff. Can't remember if I talked about this last time I was here. I was part of like the domestic violence clinic, where as a third-year law student, you get certified as a teacher or as a lawyer to go in and work with survivors of domestic assault. I did protection order work, helping people who couldn't afford their own attorney in that for a semester. I actually did a semester at the U.S. Attorney's Office prosecuting domestic violence crimes. And then I did another program where I actually got technically, I think, certified as a substitute teacher. And you and a partner go in and you teach in an actual school a class about constitutional rights as it pertains to youth. So your entire curriculum is based around, do you have a First Amendment right, for example, to walk out of class and protest? Yeah. Do you have a Fourth Amendment right against search and seizure if a teacher wants to search your backpack? Like those kind of things.
That's an important type of program, I think, honestly.
It was fascinating. And I mean, it was also, we're talking about, I went to law school in DC. So I was teaching in Southeast DC, which, if you know the area, historically very marginalized area. And I remember the first day of class, I asked all of my students, raise your hand if you personally or a direct family member has been justice involved. Every hand went up. And I said, keep your hand up if you or one of your family members has at some point in time been incarcerated. And almost every hand stayed up. So, I mean, we're talking about rights that are really pertinent. And it was a lot of lived experience that I learned. So, you know, I didn't know that I would go into this field, but I feel like it is sort of the sum of a lot of those parts, right? Picking up these things along the way and being like, oh, this is important. And we got to talk about this more.
Drew hit it on the head. He said you were being a leader. Absolutely. So I think it was in you.
Absolutely.
You may not have known it was directly related to this, but you had it in you.
Now, as a parent, though, I'm kind of frustrated. If you have kids coming home like, no, Dad, it's against my constitutional rights. You can't do this. Then I'm like, okay.
Wait a minute.
Where's George? I'm not talking to him.
Right. Gonna go talk to Mr. Dungan.
So, you know, when I was growing up, my teenage self would have said, heck no, that's not you, Bill. And I know that for a fact because the kids that knew me when I was a teenager come up to me and go, what are you doing? This is what you're doing in life? So, well, we're going to come back for our last segment here in a moment, throwing it back to Harrison for our sponsors.
MHC isn't new, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered. Specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can also handle your commercial moves as well. There's never fees on trucks, stairs, elevators, long carry, and last-minute booking, and no trip or fuel charges. Also, no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167. Or go to mhcmoving.com.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Life changes, and sometimes that means changing where you call home. Whether you're downsizing, growing your family, relocating, or facing tough times, you shouldn't navigate it alone. I'm Laura Bonta-Bush with Woods Rose Realty, and I'm here to guide you with all your real estate needs. As wife of football coach Bill Bush, I understand the importance of teamwork and making sure you are supported every step of the way with honesty, integrity, and compassion. If you're looking for a game plan to buy or sell your home, text or call me at 402-525-0843. That's 402-525-0843.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Now back to Be a Beacon with Lighthouse on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, here we are. So welcome back. Again, we have such lively discussions on the side during breaks, but I think it's because we keep bringing such great people on.
Oh, for sure.
It's just fun.
We're 100% so far. That's for sure. I know that.
And Pitsy, this is like your 10th or 11th time on.
I've been here a few times. Yeah.
Honorary host.
Right.
All right. Where are we going with this one?
Well, I mean, we got two Lincoln guys here, right? Is there a spot you guys got in Lincoln here that's kind of home for you? Obviously, besides your house, you know what I'm saying? But like, is there a certain spot you guys like to make, like you go to every week or you have that's a home?
I mean, my answer, which is, it's not really one spot, but I talk about this a lot on the floor of the legislature. People are probably sick of me talking about it, but the bike trails.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Our bike trail system here is awesome. And
unmatched.
And you're in Northeast Lincoln. You're in charge. You got that whole thing. You're my senator, by the way, too.
Oh,
so that's,
wonderful.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
well, if you have any
Northeast
issues,
Lincoln.
reach out. But
I know who to call now. You know?
No, I mean, so from my front door to downtown, right? If I want to come down here, if I'm driving, it's about 15 minutes. If I bike, it's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You don't have to worry about parking. I mean, that's an amazing feat. And you can get anywhere in Lincoln on bike trails. And I know people who actually commute day to day on their bikes, and it's not a problem.
For a whole school year last year, I commuted from my house on 70th and Vine. Don't look at my address. And then I went all the way to Lighthouse, and it was about 15 minutes every single day. I got there sweaty, but it was still like a nice, easy ride, just straight from Vine Street to Lighthouse.
And that's my happy place. Like on the weekends, if I have time, I'll hop my bike and just ride around Lincoln. And we have, awesome trails going out to like Eagle, or if you go down to Roca, like that's what I like to do is just put on a book on tape and
we'll
get him going. We'll get him going.
We'll get you involved in our bike club at Lighthouse. We do a lot of bike stuff there.
That'd be great.
We work with Recycle. They do a lot of the fixing of the bikes in the bike kitchen here.
Wheelie good bikes.
Really good bikes.
Really good
bikes. Yeah.
My stepdad actually volunteers at the bike kitchen right now. And I know Sherry at the bike kitchen as well. So I would love to work with y'all on that.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. How about you, Jay?
I plead the fifth.
All the charities in the city. He loves the charities.
Yeah, I would say for a hobby, golf. So any golf course in the city of Lincoln, we have some of the best,
or in the state,
exactly. But the city of Lincoln, shout out to our city golf courses.
Oh yeah,
They are in absolutely amazing shape. Yeah, I played Pioneers yesterday. And, for the money you pay, the value you get out of that is just absolutely unmatched. I mean, you get people coming in from other states. They're like, it was $45 for 18 holes in a cart.
Yeah.
on this course. They said this would cost us $200 where we're at.
Yeah. Right. One of my buddies is one of the groundskeepers at the Highlands, and like he takes it so serious too. Like he's honored when people say it's really beautiful. He's like, you're right. We do really hard work. We do good work. We try.
All the workers, the maintenance crews, they do a fabulous job here for our golf courses, for our golfing community. So I like to think I'm a golfer. Sometimes there's some golf shots that come out. About had a hole. Yeah, about had a hole in one at Tatanka the other week with him. It was about a 205-yard par 3, and I just strike. Yeah, well,
just honesty right there.
It was an easy birdie, but that one would have been pretty awesome. But and I grew up on the junior golf course. That's where I have my only. Jim Ager at 38th and South. My only hole in one was on hole number 8 there, when I was 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
So,
you peaked early.
I did. It's crazy because I could hit, I was just learning and I get one. And now I'm like, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I almost did it again.
That's how I feel when I golf, because I love golf, but I'm terrible at it. And then you have that one swing out of all 18 holes that just is perfect.
And then it brings you back.
And you're like, oh, man, I got to do this again. Right, I got to come back. I know I'm capable.
No, before we kind of wrap up, I always like to end on a little positive note. So, like, what's something that, even you, Bill, what's something that's kind of gave you hope this week? Besides our beautiful kids at Lighthouse.
I mean, you can't take that away from me.
Nope. Filters.
No, I got to be honest. It really is just the environment at Lighthouse. I mean, I was standing there listening before we even came on the energy that was coming from the front room, that it's just fun to hear the staff and the kids interacting in that way. And I have to walk out sometimes because my ears are ringing, but it's the energy and it's a positive thing.
I'm loud sometimes. Yeah.
No, but it's not yelling at them like they're bad. It's just the energy of just loving each other. It was fun.
Yeah. But you guys, anything give you guys hope this week? Harrison, you too?
Well, I'll say when I was
walking, your hype video, maybe
it's Chicago Bears training camp video.
Ooh, are you a Bears fan?
Yeah, absolutely. Packers.
Yeah,
I knew it. Just right off face. All right.
I'm a Packers fan. So true story. I parked and I was walking in here, I bumped into a gentleman that I'd met in my time in the legislature who used to be incarcerated. And he was sitting outside waiting for the bus, and he recognized me, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" We started chatting. He was coming from classes at SCC.
Let's go.
Said that he had a 4.0 grade point average.
Let's even go more.
And he's doing work studies right now. And just that short little interaction right as I was walking in, I mean, that is so cool and encouraging, because it really shows when you put the effort in and the time in, you can do that.
It kind of takes a weight off your shoulder you didn't even know was there.
Exactly. And it shows you, I mean, it's all the different threads we've already talked about, but, investing in the community and SCC having that, ability to reach people, and just seeing somebody say, hey, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
And it gives you hope, and it really reassures you that is a possibility moving forward. So it was really cool.
That's the money we don't talk about right there.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Hope this week, you know what? I think this will probably strike a chord with everybody. Over the last week, we had some beautiful weather, and we really needed that cool down, because 97 degrees and 80% humidity was getting old.
And the rain.
We needed the rain. So, thank you up above for giving us that, half inch of rain in like 15 minutes or whatever it was. It was a downpour at my house, but we needed it. So, you know what? Thank you.
Had some muddy dogs, but it was still okay.
I got to add to mine because he inspired me. So I saw a young man, West Lincoln. I was doing some volunteer work, used to come to Lighthouse, fell off, was doing not very good, is now employed through the food fort, Lincoln. And he said, I feel like a kid again, because he saw me and he's like, this is weird. And I go, isn't it fun to have that peace in your life again, that you just feel young again? And
for all you guys, you can always come back and visit Lighthouse.
So I appreciate you fellas coming today. And
anytime.
Remember, be a beacon for somebody.
Always be who you needed.